which is created by the widgets, right? So normally you can see that for database operation you have 4 operations: obj delete. For browsing you have obj browse. For open you have obj open, and for saving you have obj save. So there are the 4 operations you have to do the basic operation onto the database. Okay, so by Pega itself created the all the 4 operations for you. Okay, so when you want you can call any one of the activity from that. Okay, so this is the you can see the way like the obj methods also we can use. Actually this is can be used for any internal table, also can be used in external table as well. Okay, and there is one more way to do that. Okay, so we'll see that now. That is actually we called as RDB methods. Okay, so for RDB methods we need to create a connect method, connect SQL rule. Okay, so let's say we are going to create the connect SQL rule. So that should be it. So that will be the third way of handling the database. So that we need to create an integration connector, connect SQL. Okay, so here it's like I can say, I can write get employees. Okay, and here I need to write the table name. So for which which class I want to refer that. So that's the, now this is the table, main table. It's actually like it's created that. And what the package name will be like is depend on the your database. Is it Oracle or MS SQL or DB2? So you need to write the package name here. So this is related to Oracle. Okay, so we need to write this way and we need to create that way. Okay, so here you can see that the same 4 options like we doing right, open, delete, save and browse. So if you see right, you want to write the queries here. So here you can need to write the queries. So there is some syntax which you need to, when you want to write the query, there is little different from the SQL. So you need to write like this, all, if you want every rows to be picked up from. So there is 2 way, like I can directly write this one, or I need to write like this way, class. I can write the table name directly here, or I can write the class name as well. Okay, where employee ID, arrange it in capital, or employee ID equal to 101, or actually I can make it a parameter as well, param dot, so that I can choose as a let's see, we'll try with 101. Okay, first. So this way you have written your query. Okay, so if you want to the syntax of this, you can go help on that. So it will give you some basic details about that, how you can write the connect SQL data mapping. So this is the help which will help you how to write the queries. Okay, so here you can reference the properties. Just a minute. Yeah. So here you can see I can refer the property in this way. I can call stored procedure from here. Okay, like if you say this is the way of actually changing the class, and if you want to refer to any specific property, you can refer by this way as well. Okay, so that's actually we did in this now. And in place of table, you can use the table in that. Okay, and if you have to use select all, you need to use select all like that. Okay, so this you can call the stored procedures. And what's the edges is actually like edges, the value is actually like it's going to what the current value is not going to convert it again. So how it was displaying in the clipboard, you want to use the edges format to here. So that time we can use this one. Okay, and if you want to do an error handling, you can give this. So what it is going to do is it is going to give you at the top of the first statement. So whatever the results will come, it will be stored in MySQL page. Okay. So let's see how it works. Okay. So now we have done that. Let's see, we go to the open employee. Okay. So in place of this obj open, I can call that. Okay. I made this connected, and here I'm going to use the RDB open. So the purpose is same. Only thing is that RDB can be used only in external database. It cannot be used in internal database. If there is a join with multiple tables, you can write in query format. But with OBJ method, you cannot write in join. So here you need to write 𝐸𝐸 the same format of your rule. So if you say this is the 3 format, right? Your 𝐸𝐸 data employees. So this is the first. You need to give that there. So if you see an employee, so that's the class you need to mention. Request type. So that will be the name of your second part. So this is the third part. Get employee. And access will be like again Oracle like that. You need to write that. Okay. So that actually again putting into the same pivot and data page. Okay. Now I'm going to run this. Okay. So it's asking for an employee ID. So actually like because we are using directly, no need of that. I should give the page. Okay, like target page, I'm giving that employee. Okay. So it's run successfully. If I go to the clipboard, I should see an employee page here. Okay, this is the page which is created. So now the results is coming from your RDB. So that is like the SQL queries we have written there. It's coming from there. Okay. So the same way, if you want to go and update the delete. Okay. So delete actually always. And you can see this MySQL page also there in the clipboard. There should be MySQL page as well. So this is the page which is actually you can see that the pre and post part is there, right? We can also make it parameterized as well. Like based on that, if you want to make it parameterized, we can able to do that as well. So, but here actually only thing is that we need to set that in a particular place. Actually, we cannot use directly this way. So we need to set that in a page, and that page we can use it here in that manner. Like you cannot see any parameters, right? So we need to set it in a page, and then where we can use it from there. So it should be like if I say I want to write that in page property. Okay, parent dot okay. So this time it will going to take the param page and going to get the property of that. So let's see what is actually it's going to work with that. And in between, let's see, we are going to write some more queries. So like see, I was just copying this. Okay, I'm deleting. So it's like if you go for delete. Okay, so class where employee ID is whatever you want to pass it on that. Okay, so this way you can write the other two, say browse as well, we can write that. So this is the way the RDB methods. Okay, here you need to write your SQL queries. So now I've written this way, and so we have our browse delete. Yeah, so is it here also in place of this I can call my own way. So I can go with RDB delete methods here. So here also, because the way of the method, actually like now I'm using the same RDB, so I need to write in the same one. Only the method will pick, if it is delete, it will take the delete tab. If it is the open tab, RDB open will save this one. RDB browse list, it will go for browse tab. Okay. Okay. So this is not done. Okay. So I can run either one of them. So say we will go with I saved it. Let's say we'll check it now. Okay. So let's run it. So let's say I'm passing the employee ID 105. Okay. And target page, let's say employee. Okay. Let's run that. So this time it failed. So we'll see. I think actually the palm which we have passed, it doesn't take that one. Okay. So let's trace it once. So this is the way you learn about the tracer. Actually, anytime when you face an issue, what will happen? So let's see. First, check the clipboard. Okay. So this time you see an employee page is there. So that's the previous page which is there, and MySQL page. So here you can see that post actually like the what should be. It's not able to get that. So it should be control with that. So we need to go with the tracer to trace it. So what's actually problem is happening? We have already started the tracer. Okay. Okay, so let's see, run it again, so we'll get to know what was the problem. Okay, so here you can see that when we are doing the RDB open, it's getting failed. The page or the property palm is read only. Okay, we cannot use in that way. Like we need to use some other way to do that. So here actually we should have that values employee ID, but I think palm we cannot use to pass it there. Okay, so we are not going to use the palm there. Let's go with some other method of that. We need to use this py_temp data page. Okay. So in the pages classes we have that defined, right? Yeah, it's fine. Good. So what we need to do is we need to set the employee ID in this page. Okay. So before that we need to use it. We have a property set method to do that. You can see we have a property that we are setting with the param dot employee ID. Okay. And what we need to do is in the open query also, we just need to write the employee ID. Okay. Let's run it once again. So it's run successfully this time. So if you see the employee page, employee ID 105 is retrieved from the database. Okay. Yeah. Any questions on this RDB methods? So this way you can pass the parameters and you can get the details here and delete it. Like here also I need to use the same way. I need to set the variables and then I can able to use that.
Mukesh, can you just go to that activity?
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, here in the method parameters of RDB open, you have mentioned request type, right? So did you already explain it? Did I miss this, or can you explain it? Like, what is this get employee?
Yes, sir. If you missed, I think I told that.
Okay.
So you have parameters in that one. Okay. This is the class name. Okay. Then you have the access type, and this is the request type.
Okay. Okay.
So that three things, if you see you have connected your connect SQL method, you will see that three. So that's the same thing, you need to mention it here.
So is it related to some other rule, or it is a new one which we write here?
No, it's the same rule. Actually, this is the rule, right? Get employee. This is the connect SQL rule.
Okay, okay. From here we'll have to mention it in those three steps.
Yes, RDB methods works with the connect SQL rule. So first you need to write the query separately, and then in activity you can use the RDB methods to call that connect SQL rule.
Okay, okay. Yeah, got it. One more question, like did you, like we are writing param.employee ID sometimes, right, here on the SQL command.
Yeah.
So this param also, can you just tell me?
See, okay, I'll tell you that activity. Okay, actually, because I've not covered activity, so that's
Oh,
actually like is
fine.
the confusion. Yeah. So
Okay.
now actually, like you see, this is actually all about how you can get the access to different database operation. Okay, report definition. Then you have this activity
OBJ.
with the OBJ methods and the RDB methods, right?
Okay. Okay. And Mukesh, PYTEM data page is the page where we are fetching the values and storing them, correct?
Yes, right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is actually like, okay, now you got something actually about the little bit on activity. So let's say we start with the concept of activity, what we can go to do and whatever the different things in the activity. Okay. So actually you have seen this activity now, right? So let's say we go to the browse employee. So actually like it will be easy to explain from there. Okay. So this is actually like you have an activity. Okay. You can see there is a parameters. You can see a lot of parameters are there. So all are input parameters. They need in the browse. So normally like if it's actually you can see a lot of conditions are written in the OBJ methods. If you want a specific conditions, so you can see it here, the conditions are written, logic. So that you can see that is greater than or equal to, okay, this is the value. If you want any specific thing, the conditions are written on everywhere. Actually, like if you want any specific department ID or like that. So if you say like salary, okay, if you want salary's range, so if you want any specific range of the salary, you can able to retrieve that. So let's see how we can do that. So if we say I want to run this, okay. So if it is salary to, and there should be salary from, okay. So if we say again rotate between 100 to 500. Okay. Let's run. You got the data. I think again I need to give the page. There will be target page name. Yeah. So I need to give that employee list. So you can see a page called it employee list. Yeah. So there actually what is going to give you that all the none of them has in that range. Okay. So what's the salary here? Salary 4800. Okay. So maybe all have more than that salary. So let's see 5,000. Okay. Run it once again. Go to the clipboard. You will see employee list. So this time 48 results came with that. So 48 employees actually have salary more than that. Yeah. Okay. So this is actually the OBJ browse was designed in a such way that you can query multiple things on that. So both all are actually designed in a you can query them in this manner. Okay, so the OBJ browse methods is used for that. So normally now I'll tell you that what we today going to achieve from this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, let's say you have a requirement, you will need to find out all the employees who are in the range of 3,000 to 5,000, okay? Give them 10% or like add them 100 extra salary in this month, okay? So how you going to do it? You need to go for all the employee who has salary between 3,000 to 5,000, add them 100 rupees 100 extra with them, okay, and then save into the database. So let's see how we can do that. So first thing you can see in an activity rule, you have many things, okay. Let's discuss that. So parameter is the first. You can, like you can say, like the function, right? Activities like the function. You want to pass the data to it, okay. So you can go see all these are actually defined as the parameters for the activity. So it can be dynamic now. Like if you want to make it dynamic, so based on your input, activity will work differently. So if you change anything, like that, I just show you, like the salary range. If I change the salary range, is the value is getting changed, right? The same way I can change anything and get the output. So this is like we can say. So how we refer it? We refer all these parameters page with the param keyword. Okay, so that you can see it here. When we are referring that here, we are referring that param dot the field name. Right? All are actually you can see that are referred with the param keyword. Okay. And there is one more type of variable which is we call as local variables. So local variables are temporary variables. Like if you want that the scope of that variables will be within the page itself. So if you say you want an actually specific variable, I want actually let's say actually new salary. Okay. I want to create it as a decimal or double anything. Okay. So this one actually I created local variable. So I can refer this variable as local dot new salary. So this local variables will be not going to store in a case. So this will be going to be part of only here. It will be not going to display it anywhere. So only activity finished, this local variable scope is finished. Okay. So this is actually we refer by local dot this way. Okay. And here you can have like you can define the type. Okay. It is yes means it's required or not required. So most of the things you can see that it's yes. So it means that you need to pass that, and you can say it is input parameter or say an output parameter. You want to set the output or input on that. So that also we can set it into that. So that's the parameter. Okay. Pages in classes. So in activity, pages in classes are very much important. Okay. Why that is important? I'll show you that. Okay. So there are all the pages, whatever you are going to use it here. Okay. So you can see the step page name, this page name. Okay. So whatever you are using everywhere, this one, right? All the pages should be defined in your pages in classes. Whatever the page you are going to use, you should use that in your pages in classes tab. Okay. So here you can see that it was defined with the code PEGA list. Okay. So this is a by default, whenever with the top level page in a results, we define that as a code PEGA list type of the property. Okay. And in the security tab, we have something actually like if you want to use this activity from client or service, so that if like say it will allow both side, client or service as well. And if you want an authentication to run for this one, okay. So this actually like is at the moment you can skip this one. No need to go for detail on that. And then activity can be of different type. Like it can be notification, routing, trigger, utility, validate, load data page, okay, rule connect, assign. So by default it will be an activity type, and all others actually like are the different on that. So activity is the by default it will be there. If you are creating any specific things, like if you want to go for routing or for some other purpose, you can go for other type of the users as well. So what's the benefit of that? When you are going for creating that there, it will display when you are creating a decision table, like decision routing part of it, you will see the activity will be listed there. Otherwise, it will not make the difference. So the users doesn't make the difference of the activity. Okay. So this is some of the steps which will be there. And if you come back to this state, you can see multiple things in a single line. Okay. So first thing is called the label. So label is used two purpose. One is actually you can comment. Okay, this is actually like you can say this page is actually like you are using for comment. Okay. So if actually remove that, it will be not commented. This will be we are able to see this page now. Okay. So and second thing is you want to use for see jump. Okay. So if you say actually like if you say actually like I can put a label. I want to jump to some other place. Okay. So actually like if you say I put a name here. So I put a step. Okay. So let's say I want to put a step here. Copy. Okay. So what I can do is actually I can, if it is true, I jump to later step. So I can put it true here. Sorry, copy. Okay. So now what will happen is if this condition is true, okay, it will going to jump here directly here. It will not going to do this step. Okay. So this way we can use the two way of the label. Either it will be used as a comment statement or we can use as a looping, actually like not looping, go to statement from the when condition or jump condition. Okay. And if you want to do looping, so that we can go for loop, actually like for each result you want to work, or each for loop you want to create your own way. So let's say we want to create that now. So like it is commented that now both the step. Okay. So now it's like you say I want to loop. Okay. So I need to define that here dot. So here I need to define the page list property. Okay. So let's say px sorry. So this will be px results. Okay. And I want to put into the loop. So here you can see that looping you have multiple options for each top level page, for each embedded page, for each element in the value list, for each element in the value group, and for loop. So let's say this one actually we are trying for page list and page group. So we need to use the for each embedded page. Okay. And if you go to the pages and classes, we need to define that as well. Okay. So that should be engage. If I not do this, it will actually say that the page is not defined. Let's see. I'm not defining anything and I'm trying to save it. See, actually it's already declared, right? So it's creating problem with that. So I need to define that with the name of that. So this is actually like I'm going to loop for each of the result, whatever the results will come, we are going to work with that, right? So this is the normal step. So looping step, you can add, if you can click onto the first, there you can see 1 2 3 4 5. So if you right click onto that, you will see a different option, cut, copy, paste. So any step you want to do, cut, copy, paste, you can able to do that. So if you say actually add child, okay. So here, what you want to do is, you want to, so you have for each page, you have the property. So you can see, these are the methods. Okay, sorry. So here what you want to do is, I want to do the property set. Okay. So I want to set the values, right? So here with the property set, what value I want to write it. So whatever the salary I have, okay, I want to add 100 rupees with that. Okay, and anything, actually I just add everything 100 with that. And then I want to save that, the same thing. So that I need to use the OBJ save. Okay. And after that, I can move this step to, oh, sorry. So the loop, it will look like this. Okay. So recently what's wrong? It edits the child step. I don't know how to edit child step. Yeah. So it's done. I want to add that. So what I can do is one more way. I can cut it. Okay. I can paste it here. Okay. And I can show page once more time. Yeah. Because I removed the label now, so it was creating that issue. So while saving. So this we have done the looping as well, and we can see the when condition. What the when condition is do. So it's actually like you can enable the pre-processing while executing before the step. You want to check some condition. So this is the pre-processing before executing that. So here you are checking that if I have passed the target page or not. If I have not passed the target page, it's not going to skip that. It's not going to rename that. Okay. So if it is actually I have passed the values for the target page, it is going to rename that. Okay. So if you say like it's going to rename that page. So in the page rename, this page is going to name with the new page with this name. Okay. Param.target page. And if it is successful, so that's the jump condition. Okay. So here actually we can say step status good, step status fail. Okay. So the jump, you can see you have multiple options. You can continue the multiple whens, you can skip the when, you can jump to later step, you can skip the particular step, or you can exit the activity. So these are the different options which is available in the jump and the when condition. So when is pre-processing and jump is post-processing. Okay. So let's see how we can run that. So let's go and run this one. So, and if you see it here, you can have a number of methods are there. Okay. So that actually, like as the time comes, we can use any one of them here. Just give me 1 minute. Someone is calling. Okay. So let's start with this activity. Run it. Okay. So let's say we are giving the range salary from 3,000 to 4,000. Okay. So we have a range between these two, going to add the salary on that. And then we can trace it separately so we can see it out. So let's trace it. So it's failed in multiple places. Let's see now why it's got failed in many places. Oh, while OBJ save it's getting failed. Okay, got that actually. So we started with the OBJ browse. OBJ browse will give you the complete page. So how many records is came? Okay, 19 records are like that. Okay, who has salary is range of 3,300 like that. Okay, so after that you can see we have started the looping from here. Okay, so that is the property set is and property set and OBJ save are the within that. So the first one is fine. Oh no. It's actually OBJ save started and it got failed. I think the page differences. Yeah. So the main problem you can see that cannot save a page with the instance of class eGet.employee. It's a read only. Okay. So normally what's happening is because this is an external table. So we need to acquire the log before we can apply the save method. So normally to do that, Pega has one more feature. Let's see. This is actually like okay. Sorry, it's like it's. I should tell it before. Insert above. Okay. So I have a method which is called as OBJ refresh and lock. Yeah. So now we have done that. Save that. Clear all this trash. Okay. And just run it once again. So this time also it gets failed. Okay, it's a read-only page. How do we make the changes the property set? is 3000 only. Okay, it's not adding the salary then that. Okay, it's adding the salary with that. Is not configured to support lock-in. Then you should work with that. Okay. Okay. What we need to do is we are going to open one by one page again. Let's see, it's in primary is taking that. This is one of the syntax actually, you need to get it. Should this be only going to use the current of the page which is in the rotating right, so we should use that. So we can go with another way, param dot remove connect. Oh, I have two dot here. I think that's the problem, which should be, we will work with that. Yeah. So you can see that what I did is I'm going to take the current employee ID page, okay, and it is current employee, put it employee here. So let's see this. Okay. So okay, let's try it once again. Clear that and run it. So this time it says like it's running fine. Everything is fine, right? So if you see in OBJ save and before OBJ save, if you open that, you can see that it was, oh, it's updated 3100. From 3100, we can see that it was added to 3200 now. So in the database is now 3200. Okay, so it's actually updated the all 19 record. Okay, the complete 19 record get updated now. So if you see now this page, okay, so this is actually like employee ID 197, salary is 3000. Okay, this time. Okay, and what we did it, we updated that with the 3100. Okay, so next time if you run it once again, it will be changed to 3200. So if you say we going to run it once again. So this time it will contain 3100 here. No. Is it 3200? Did I run it properly? Yeah. Still showing 3000. Okay. Actually, this is the value. We have not removed that piece, so this is coming fine. So this is the 3300. We need to remove this page. Clear on that? Then only it will going to work. So that proper. So in this employee page, it's better. So it's like we have 3300 on there. So there are actually multiple. We need to use some file operate like page operation to get the proper results. So now we are able to save it as well. So this is some of the things we should be check onto the activity page. You can see all the methods which is there in that. So we have a lot of methods there. Okay. So there are some of the related to property, some are related to display, some of the related to page, OBJ, RDB, okay, connect methods. So this is the way. These are some of the active like data transform, pass delimited, call, branch. If you want to call another activity, you go for call. Okay, if you want to call another activity with no relationship, we go for branch. So these are the different way we can go for activity. Okay.
So Mukesh, I have one question.
Yes, Shakib.
So these pages and classes, do we have any prerequisites, like when is it correct to, like how do we, or when do we use pages and classes?
In activity, it's actually very much important. Every time you need to use the step page. Like if it is not there, it will take this class.
Okay.
If you see here, I am not given anything, right? So it will take this as the class of that.
Okay.
If I'm mentioning anything, this one, so it's going to take that, whatever that I mentioned in the pages and classes of that.
Okay. Okay.
So actually this provides the context. What do you mean by context? So if you see, okay, I'll show you that. So let's see, what I'm going to do is, I put this Okay, employee page, I change the class now. Okay,
Okay.
so it will not going to save now. Why?
Okay.
Because see, what happened is, so here you can see that what are the property of that class. So here if you see a dot, I can see the property of the work class now,
Yeah.
right? So you can see now the difference, right? So actually if I'm changing the type of the class of the page, the context of the property changed. So now I can work on context of that class itself. I cannot work on the employee class,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So if you go back
So
and change it again to the older class,
we'll have to know like which properties are like present in which class and when do we
that's right.
need to use them.
Where actually you want to work. So that's now you can see it's changed to again back to the same class.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll stop now and we'll continue on tomorrow's again.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jacob. Thanks, Keshman. Bye-bye.